You guys have seen the stretch big. Maybe even the slasher. Most definitely the shot creator. And the glass cleaner, don't really have footage of him. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Coochies, and today I'm bringing you a what is the best archetype video. Now, I have 4 mod players, all 86 overall and above. 2 have grand badges, and 2 do not, but they're all very good. All of them have a lot of Hall of Fames, or all of them have, 3 of them have Hall of Fames in my glass cleaner. I just brick wall Hall of Fame, because everybody knows that hustle revender badge is crazy grind. But that's not what this is about. So I'm going to try to sum this up as quick as I can about every mod player. What's the best out of the 4 I have, and what I think are the best out of the entire game. So as you can see right now, we're on the glass cleaner, and from the easiest to hardest scale, let's get this in the picture. This is the easiest, this is the hardest. I would say this is definitely on the easy side. This is a very easy mod player to use. You do not need a lot of skill to use him, and that's not bad. It's not a bad thing that you don't need a lot of skill to use him. It just means it's an easy mod player to use. And also, if you're going to be a mod part player, which I'm making this video for all the new players that are getting 2K on Black Friday or whatever. Some people might not have had the money to get it when it was brand new $60, and there might be a Black Friday sale. You never know. And some new players definitely are getting this game in Black Friday. And this is why I'm making this video, not for all the people that have been playing 2K since the release. You already know all this information, so I don't want to see in the comments, man, Coochie, you already knew that, man. Alright then. I mean, it's why are you watching if you already knew it? Anyways, this is a very easy mod player to use, and it is one of the most useful positions in the game as well. So you don't need a lot of skill or 2K IQ to use this player. Now, you cannot just be completely I don't want to use the R word if it offends people. You don't want to be completely reckless with this player. Obviously, he doesn't have high playmaking, no good ball handling, but rebound goes to 94. Now, I don't know if people just don't get this, but whenever you have a mod player and one of your attributes can go all the way up, that's the one you want to get all the way up. I had somebody comment on one of my videos. He's like, "Oh, my shot creator shot off dribbles only halfway, and I'm a 95 overall, so I can't even upgrade anymore. Did I mess up?" Hell yeah, you messed up. Why? I don't. If it can go all the way up, it can go all the way up for a reason, because that's going to help your mod player the most. Strength and rebounding help my mod player the most, because box out and strength they connect with each other. They're very useful, and those go along with each other. So you want both of these up. Now, obviously, I'm sorry about that. But obviously, I don't have strength all the way up, but it's high. It's 79, pretty much 80, and my rebounding all the way up. It's a very easy player to use. I would definitely recommend him. And I have an in-depth tutorial on my channel of every single mod player that I have created. If you want to watch a very in-depth, then go watch one of those there. I'll try to put them in the description if I remember. But next time, we're going to move to the shot creator. Alright guys, so we are on the shot creator, which is personally my favorite archetype in the game. Now obviously I haven't played as every archetype. I only have 4, which is slasher, shot creator, stretch big, and a glass cleaner. But this is my personal favorite. And you guys will, if you guys watch my how to be a great shot creator video, you will understand why. It's just they're OP. Alright, so this is what we got going. This is one of the most balanced players when it comes to offense, 100%. So you're off dribble. Now, at first I didn't really understand off dribble completely, but it means fadeaways, like a Dwayne Wade type player. Shot creator is definitely a Dwayne Wade type player. So I am 6'4", short wingspan, short shoulder width, whatever. So off dribble 3 and mid range is a 93. Now you definitely make more mid ranges than threes, 100%. You drain a lot more. Your layups and dunks are the second best compared to a slasher, I believe, when it comes to guards. Very good driving layup, 83. Driving dunk, 75, which I don't know. Sometimes I think it's a little bit higher. Your mid range, which is just a standstill mid range, is an 81. Very good. When you're shot 3, I think you can go up to 71 or something when it maxes out. But and you might think 68 isn't that good, but if you have corner specialists and catch and shoot, it's not that bad, honestly. And I don't prefer to take them standing still, considering my off dribble 3 is a 93, but I do sometimes. Now your agility, your speed is at 89 with this player. Very good. Your vertical and acceleration, very good. Strength, I got that up just to be better in the paint or whatever. Playmaking, now this is one thing that is on the lower end of this mod player. You only have 75 speed ball and 79 ball control. Not very good. Your passing accuracy is not very good. But if you get Dimer and you can make it happen. Your defense is about the same for every mod player. You have 74 for about everything. But the main part is the off dribble. Now, this mod player comes with probably the best badges in the game. Difficult shots, which is your fadeaway badge, aka shot creator in last 2K, teardropper, floaters, tile scorer. You can score a lot better when your energy is all the way down. Ankle breaker, very OP. It used to be a lot more, but if you actually know how to dribble, then you're going to be very good with this. And mid-range Deadeye is super OP when you're off dribble. Now, when it comes to easy to hard, I would go about in the middle. It kind of levels out. Now, I say that because this mod player, since you don't have good speed with ball, even when you're short and not heavy, you need the ankle breaker badge. Now, maybe you don't need it, but it's going to come in handy because you have the ankle breaker badge for a reason, because your dude's not that good, or he doesn't have great speed with ball. So you're not just going to be able to dust somebody. You need to create, shot creator, your own space. And that is what ankle breaker comes, that's just what it comes down to. You need to create your own space, and ankle breaker helps with that. So use it to your advantage. Learn dribble moves, which I do have tutorials on, and a lot of other people do as well. Now, this player cannot speed boost, or I think he can if you have, I don't know, I'm not 100% sure. I'd never speed boost, and they just did a patch on it where you can't speed boost as much anyways, but there are certain moves that you can speed boost out of, which I'll show you guys one right quick. So you just do this, and then you kind of get a little boost on the edge right there. But that's about it for this mod player, and we are going to head to the slasher. Oh guys, and one more thing that I'm going to add in the last two that I forgot to add in the first two is consistency. So for the glass cleaner, I'd rate them a very, very consistent player. You're going to, if you have hustle rebounder, even if you don't, you're most likely going to out rebound anybody else unless there is another glass cleaner that has hustle rebounder. They're very OP and they're very consistent. And for the shot creator, I'd go on the higher end of consistency. Now, it all depends on if you know your shot or not. And that comes down to every type of shooter. But the off dribble, and if you have a good shot off dribble, which I do have 3 really good ones. One of the best videos on my channel, very high rating. It shows 3 very good off dribble shots that you'll benefit from, and that I have benefited from this entire 2K. Now, it does, and so I'd rate them a little bit lower than glass cleaner, but they're very consistent as long as you know your shot, because the difficult shots badge is very, very useful. Now, after I load into this, I'll let you guys know everything about the slasher. So guys, we are on the slasher now. A very good position. So, like I said, if you can max out something all the way, all 25 bars, do it. Obviously, a slasher, layups, and dunks. I'm 6'5", short wingspan, short shoulder width, and a very low weight on this mod player. And so your shot off dribble is very good for a shot creator. Don't know why, but add this with difficult shots on bronze and you'll be perfectly fine with an off dribble shot. I don't think it should be that high, but I'm glad slasher can do a little bit more than just layup and dunk. Now 6'5", my driving and standing layups both a 94. Standing dunks only 77. That's because I'm short. Driving dunks is still a 91. It would be better if you were taller. And contact dunk is an 87. Again, that'd be better if you're taller and fatter. But you can. I think if you were just a little bit heavier, I could have had a higher 90 dunk. But I'll tell you guys why I did. Now your mid range goes to about 74, but I just decided to upgrade my off dribble because it's still better. 3-point goes to like 60 something. You can still make them with catch and shoot and corner specialist or whatever. But then again, my off dribble is better. My agility, my vertical maxes out at 90. I know that for a fact. I don't know the other two. They might stay the same. Strength is pretty big for a slasher because you want to be strong. You want to be able to go in the paint. Your rebounding can go actually pretty high with this mod player as well, about 70 or 60, I believe, which is pretty good for a guard. And the reason I was 6'5" instead of taller is because my ball control is at 81. My passing accuracy is 76 and my speed ball is 77. Now, if you don't recall, this is better than my shot creator, which is kind of weird because most slashers you would not think to have some stuff like this. Speed with ball, yeah, I agree a little better, but passing accuracy, I don't really think it should be better, but that's besides the fact. If you're short, you're going to have really good playmaking. And you are able to speed boost a tad bit with this player because his ball control is at 81. Put a boost on that, it goes to 86, and you are able to speed boost. And defending, still, I'm pretty sure I maxed out at 74, just like everything else. So with this player, from easy to difficult or hard, I would rate this player more on the difficult side because I don't know, they're not very consistent. That's why I rate them on the difficult side. Now I'll show you guys. I have the 4 badges Hall of Fame: Acrobat, Relentless Finisher, One-Man Fast Break, and Posterizer. Now, I do not think Relentless Finish. They said they fixed Relentless Finisher, and I think they did a little bit. But one of my friends, like most of y'all might know him, he finishes more contested layups than me, and I don't really understand why. I mean, if it's off a pick, then I understand because pick and roll Maestro is OP. But even when it's not off of a pick, and he still just finishes a lot more. But I have some games where I don't miss layups, and I posterize everybody. But then I have a lot of games where I'm not finishing anything. I should be finishing easy Euros, which comes into Acrobat and Relentless Finisher, just easy layups that I should be making, but I miss. But it is a very fun mod player to use. It's definitely not my favorite, but it's pretty fun to use. I use them sometimes when my friend pulls out his glass cleaner and has break starter, because that One-Man Fast Break combined is very good. But when it comes down to it, I'd rather use my shot creator than this player. But then again, I started off with the shot creator. I've mastered that archetype, so it's just my personal favorite, and I'm best at it because I started off with him. But to recap, this guy, layups and dunks, very good. You can speed boost, but he's not very consistent in my opinion, and it's more on the difficult side for newer players, I would imagine, because you have to be smart when you go into paint. You can't just put up everything just because you have these badges and the attributes, but it's still a very fun player to use. Alrighty guys, now we are on the stretch big. One of the most used mod players in this, or one of the most used archetypes in this game by far. It was very OP at the start of the game. They could shoot half-court shots and just splash them shits. And they were just retarded. Now, stretch bigs, they're very versatile players. They can shoot. Not me. I hate this mod player personally. Those 2 clips at the beginning, I literally just played with him just to get some clips for him. But some people are very good with him, and I'm not going to knock those who are. Now, this mod player, dunks and layups, not very high, not very good at them. Contested layups, you're most likely going to miss. Mid-range and 3-point. Now, I don't know why the hell they would let a 7'3" mod player have a 94-3. Doesn't make any sense. There's never been one single NBA player ever in the league to shoot like a stretch big in 2K. The best big man shooter in NBA history, Dirk Nowitzki, has never been lights out from 3 and had the badges that stretch bigs have. Playmaking, you might not think it's very high, but their speed with ball, do not knock their speed with ball. It is very, they're way faster than a lot of other centers. When it comes to their lateral quickness of other centers, their stretch big speed with ball most likely always beats that. The rebounding is pretty decent. You're 7'3", so you're probably going to get a board over a little dude anyways. But against a glass cleaner, you're probably not going to unless you have a good position. But in this game, good position does not mean too much. Now, the badges that come along with this player are, like I said, just absolutely ridiculous. Deep range, limitless range, catch and shoot, corner specialist, a pick and popper. Now, these badges are very, very OP. Don't mind what I just did, I was just stretching, but these badges are very OP. Now, on a difficult or easy to difficult scale, I would go with very difficult for new players. Now, why is that? Because they're not consistent. They're not consistent. Now, yeah, I know some people might come to comments. Well, I mean, Nadek is consistent. I mean, he's very good. Okay, well, I'm not talking about fucking Nadek. He's the best player on 2K, or best stretch big by far on 2K. Now, I'm talking about for the average player, he's very inconsistent. Especially after all these patches, they have patch shooting plenty of times because nobody thinks they know how to patch defense. So they patched a good offense. And they're just not consistent. Now, you can have very good games with him, but you can have very bad games. I mean, missing wide open shots, wide open catch and shoot shots, which is probably the first badge you're going to get Hall of Fame on this player. Now, catch and shoot, corner specialist, deep range, deadeye, and limitless range all have Hall of Fame. Got that within like 20 something games. And I also got the grand badge within 20 games, which I did forget to talk about on some other players, so I'm gonna recap that. But the grand badge, which if you don't know makes you really, really good for a short amount of time, is very OP. Now you're going to be really good with this badge, but like I said, you just have to know how to play. I'll definitely put this on the more difficult side, because if you have a bad stretch big on your team, it's not going to go well. Now you can have, it's like sometimes you can have a bad player, but it doesn't affect the team that much. But if you have a bad stretch big that's just missing every open three takes, which could very well happen because they're not as consistent as they used to be, you're going to have a bad time with this player. But it is a very fun player to use when you're doing well with him. But to me, this is definitely my least favorite mod player out of all four that I have. It's way down there. Number one, I have to go with my Playmaker. My shot creator, which is through the roof. Then you got the glass cleaner, which is right there. And you got the slasher. It's like, I kind of like him, but he's not that consistent. Then you got the stretch big, which you can't even see my hand because it's so far down. I just do not really like this mod player. Like I said, very inconsistent. I'm not a big fan of him, but you can be very good with him. It takes time. You have to learn how to actually play as a real stretch big. Now, some people like to do more dribbling, and that can be very well for some people because of speed boosting, the post speed boost. But I don't know. If you're gonna go with a center and you're a new player, I'd go with a glass cleaner 100%. You're gonna have a way better time. You're gonna contribute to your team a lot more. Now we're gonna talk about one last player that I do not have, so obviously I can't go to him. We're gonna talk about a playmaker. Now playmakers are probably one of the most used small players in this game, besides the stretch big. They can do everything. They can do everything. So the badges that come with a playmaker are flashy passer, dimer, ankle breaker, pick and roll maestro, and what's the last one? Oh, and lob city passer. Now these badges, there's probably 3 that are really needed, which is ankle breaker, dimer, and pick and roll maestro. Now pick and roll maestro, if you did not know, is very OP in this game. If you come off of a screen, you're gonna green light a lot of things, a lot of shots. Now your attributes, they're all in about the mid 70s for shooting. Your off dribble is about a 70 something, mid range is 70 something, mid 70s, and your 3-point is lower 70s. About things like 74, depending on your height and everything, and your arm. Everything varies on your height, your weight, and your arm length and shoulder width and everything. But they're very good off of screens. They're very OP off of screens. They're going to make a lot of things that you would not expect them to make off of screens because of their attributes. But their playmaking is ridiculous. Their speed with ball is a 74. Now that's the thing that you need to max out is your playmaking. It's very essential to the player. Obviously, some players still don't get that. You need to upgrade what is the one that can upgrade 25. Some people just really don't get that. That's what you're supposed to max out. But their speed with ball is a 74. Create some crazy opportunities to speed boost and just beat everybody else, because nobody's lateral quickness is a 94 unless you're like a shooting guard or point guard, lockdown defender, which a lot of people aren't. And even if you're still probably going to beat them. Just a very, very good mod player, and I'd recommend him on an easy to difficult scale. I'd rate him about mid. You have to be very smart. You have to know how to dribble, and you have to not be selfish, because dimer comes in handy when you got a stretch big or sharpshooter, somebody that's shooting in general. You need to be able to. You need to actually be in a playmaker's mind sometimes. Now sometimes you can be in another mind. You can just be a scorer for the time being. But when it comes down to it, you need to be a team player and everything like that. But anyways, guys, I hope this helped you out. This is a very in-depth video. Sorry for it being so long, but this is for the newer players that are just getting 2K or whatever. Anyways, guys, I hope you all enjoyed. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share it with your friends, share it with anybody you know that needs help on stuff like this, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.